Hey guys, welcome back to my weekly list, where we're going to take a look at some mods which were released over the past week for Forge and Fabric on Minecraft 1.16.5. It was one of the busiest weeks I've seen, with around 200 mods being released, but I think I found some of the most interesting ones. You can find the links to these mods in the description below. RPG backpacks will add 6 different backpacks, as well as the pouch. You can start by crafting the small backpack, which gives you 7 slots, and constantly do upgrades until you eventually craft the legendary backpack, which will give you around an extra 175 slots. Pouches are smaller, only giving 3 additional slots. These backpacks will sit on your hotbar as they can't currently be equipped onto the player. LadyLuc's Critters mod will add new creatures to your world. There's the red panda, which can be found in bamboo biomes and tamed with bamboo, as well as the kiwi bird, which can be tamed with spider eyes and found in the Badlands. Another mod that changes the Nether dimension is Nourished Nether. A new material is the soul sand ore, which can be used to craft a new sword, or in the creation of the soul quartz decoration blocks. There's also decoration blocks for warped bricks, netherrack, and soul sand bricks. The nether iron ore can be used to collect iron nuggets. Hoglins will now drop meat, and you'll be able to create blocks of netherite scrap. Stone circles are new structures which you can find spawning throughout your world. If you come across one, you might find some pots spawning in the structure, which you can break to have a chance of receiving some iron or gold nuggets and ingots. This mod aims to recreate the deep dark biome from the upcoming Minecraft release. It acts as a dimension, so you'll need to craft the light and dark and activate it with a diamond on top of bedrock to create a portal. There's a lot to discover with lots of new blocks, plants, candles, and music discs to be collected. The spawn rate of ores is also increased in the deep dark, but there's powerful mobs too, such as the Warden, the Skulk Zombie, and the Skulk Spy. Underground, you'll also find some new structures and dungeons which have chests and barrels that contain loot. More Plants and Flowers does what you'd expect, and adds lots of new plants which you can find spawning in different locations. You can expect to find new mushrooms, blueberry bushes, and lots of new grass, which you can find spawning above and below the surface in the overworld as well as in the Nether. Marblegate's exotic enchantments will add just over 50 new enchantments to your game, which are of 10 different themes. I'll list out just a few. There's Malice Outbreak, which can be applied to helmets, and will cause any entities that attack you to be knocked back greatly. I See You Now will cause any mobs who are aggressive to become highlighted. Shadowborn will make you immune to the blindness debuff and give you night vision when it's dark. Eyesore can be applied to crossbows and will cause an arrow to explode after 3 seconds, while also giving targets blindness. Yurina's Enderite mod adds a new set of armor which is a tier above Netherite. When you go into the end, you can now find end fossils spawning between layers 0 and 35. They can be smelted in a furnace to create end amber. By combining 5 end ambers and 4 popped chorus fruit in a crafting table, you can create a single Enderite ingot. Use these in a smithing table on your Netherite armor to upgrade it. Compared to their Netherite equivalents, an Enderite sword will provide 1 extra attack damage point, and an Enderite chestplate will give you 2 additional armor points, as well as 1 extra point in armor toughness and knockback resistance. A new magic mod comes with wands and stuff. There are 4 different wands, and each one being able to cast a different spell. The Wand of Fireballs can summon a fireball, then you can launch it in a direction of your choice. The Wand of Lightning will summon lightning onto mobs around you. The Wand of Healing will put you back to full health. And the Wand of Summoning will summon a pig for you to collect food. Young has released a new mod, which is Young's Extras. It will act as a Vanilla Plus style mod, adding new features and structures. Currently, it includes content around deserts, consisting of new wells which can contain treasure, desert obelisks, and flame outposts. With future updates, we might see upgrades to other areas of the game. Undead starts by adding lots of new mobs to the game, which are mostly zombies. They all look great and fit a horror theme nicely, so would go great in any zombie apocalypse packs. Some of the zombies have different abilities and particle effects too. Mobs that aren't zombies include the Lost Soul, zombie cows, and the Hell Waste. To help defeat the zombies, you can craft the Bloodshell Helmet from rotten flesh and zombie cow muscles. Fresh Fishing makes some changes to Minecraft's fishing mechanic. Firstly, the loot tables are changed slightly so you can catch more junk items like bricks, buckets, and chains. Whereas for the treasure tables, you can catch crossbows, prismarine crystals, and scoot. Some biome restrictions are put in place too. As an example, you can only catch tropical fish in lukewarm and warm oceans. Plush Life allows you to create a few different plushies, which you can display in item frames or on shelves. You'll need to create plush stuffing from string and wool and apply other materials to create the plushie. Gun Time adds some new weapons to Minecraft. There's the pistol, rifle, bazooka, and assault rifle, as well as all the ammunition they require. All the recipes mostly require iron ingots and blocks, and the weapons are pretty powerful overall. Fast Build will add 5 new blocks which can be placed down to instantly spawn structures. There's houses of 4 different sizes, as well as an archer tower which you can climb. The structure blocks are really cheap to craft, but if you can't be bothered with building, then this mod might be useful. Young's Better Strongholds is now available for Fabric 2 as well as Forge. Strongholds that you come across will now be a lot more complex, as there'll be dozens of rooms to explore which are very nicely crafted. There's tunnels, staircases, traps, and loot everywhere, so make sure to do some serious exploring before reaching the end portal. Genesis is an add-on for Origins, which is available for both Forge and Fabric versions of Origins. You'll be able to play as the Golemborn, Arcanite, Gasling, Infected, and Dragonkin. They all seem quite fleshed out, and it's great that Origin users on Forge already have access to some add-ons. Frozen Up starts by adding a new mob, which is the Chaloo. They'll occasionally dig up items like carrots, potatoes, and frozen truffles. If you get your hands on some frozen truffles, then you can use them on a Chaloo to tame it, causing them to follow you. Although the cutest feature is that you can use some wool on a Chaloo to give them a sweater. Chaloo feathers can be used to create some new blocks, as well as a lamp which you can turn on or off. Instead of using frozen truffles as a taming item, you can turn them into regular truffles in a smoker, which can then be used to craft hot chocolates, truffle cakes, and truffle muffins. Dual Wielding is a simple mod which allows you to equip weapons in your offhand slot as well as in your main hand, so you can use them simultaneously. You can use them both by pressing both the left and right mouse buttons. Solar Apocalypse will make surviving during the day more difficult. As time progresses, grass will start burning away and turning into dirt instead when exposed to sunlight. Later on, flammable blocks will start catching fire in the day, and water will evaporate. After a week in game, both mobs and players will burn in the daylight, so it's going to be quite hard overall. A mod from the same developer that works well with Solar Apocalypse is Daydream. It allows you to sleep during the day, so that it can be turned to night instead of the other way around, although it might be useful to you even without the Solar Apocalypse mod. Phoenix Crystals adds 2 new sets of armor and tools, which are the Phoenix and Soul sets. The Phoenix set is an upgrade from Netherite, and the Soul set is a huge upgrade, with the chest plate offering 25 armor points alone. To get started with the mod, you can mine the new ores in both the Nether and End dimensions, and the Soul set can be created in a smithing table as an upgrade to Phoenix. The Giant is a new origin which has a lot of pros and cons. Some of the pros are that you can break stones without a pickaxe, you can see underwater, and jump a lot higher. Your primary ability will send you even further into the sky, and your secondary ability will open your giant pockets, giving you some extra storage space. The negatives that are when you're sleeping, your bed needs to be above a height level of 85. You'll need to eat more foods, and you can't equip a shield. That's it for this week's mods. There are a lot of other releases, as it seems a lot of players are learning how to create mods of their own. Check back next week when we'll cover even more mods, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video.